36 is a big board, and that's more of open water all around.
One of the things about that is that that number refers to the overall width. Because of the shape of the rails, which is sloped, the actual waterline widths are narrower, depending on how they're loaded. So if you're a lightweight on this, your waterline width might be 19 inches. So it's as narrow as anything on the world.
We all know.
Yeah, what is that?
Except Ivan, you know.
You know, he's probably lost it now. Do you know what 19 inches is?
I'd say 19 inches regularly.
9 inches, yes, maybe, but not 19. How many centimeters is that?
When we talk about partnerships, then of course Rotomod is one of the originals, probably the first ever coordination we had. In this case, we are on the other side, so we cooperate with Rotomod, with them doing the production of the 510 of the 510 ski. The 510 has been a big investment in terms of not just the money itself, but the promotion and the belief that this boat is the best possible boat in terms of the relation between the quality and the price to get more people paddling. So today we have a couple of new things that we want to share with you that are mostly add-ons to the existing boats, but also some new production techniques that we have worked out with Vincent, and we can start with that. So you can see that this boat looks slightly different. So there is a slight reflex on the color, so it's not the same solid blue as the original ones. It's hardly noticeable, but now that you see both next to each other, you can see the difference. Vincent, you want to explain why this looks like this?
Yes, first thing, thanks a lot, Andre, Nelo, Oscar, and all your team for your invitation. It's all the time a great pleasure to be among you. So, yes, we are proud to be a partner of Nelo, such a reliable partner. It's for us a great point, and you have to consider that to develop this product, it has been quite a huge work designing it. Just adapting the design from polyester to polyethylene is not such easy. So the product now seems to be really variable. Just a thing that we, at the moment on the market, most of our customers are looking for, let's say, green kayak or recycled product, and our technology, like Rotomod process, allow us to have some plastic boats that can be recycled for almost all the life of the boat. That means that when the boat is destroyed, you can collect the boat, cut it, and do it one more time powder and use it to produce different product as a kayak, but also like parts of a kayak or tanks or any kind of product rotomolded. Our idea, when we discussed with Andre, is to have for the Nelo 510 to have the minimum of 30% recycled PE inside. If you look at the white spot, this is a white plastic part, rubbish from production. Mainly, or let's say 100% has been used to produce light. We are producing a lot of light in our company. We cut this in small pieces and transform the plastic in powder and reuse it at 30% in the first layer of blue, for example. That's why it creates a big difference between the solid blue and this light blue. Many customers on the market nowadays are looking for really to have recycled boat made in Europe. And I think that is a big advantage to be partner and to be able to produce in France or like or some part made in Portugal, and we should be proud to have this made in Europe. So that's why, in let's say in a good sales argument or sales argumentation would be that this product could be recycled as many times as you want. After 10 years, now we have organized in France, for example, for all our rental operation, a kayak school, we collect back, or people bring us old boat, and we cut them in small pieces and reuse the powder, the plastic to powder and to make a new part.
Okay, so we agree, of course, 100% with Vincent that the future of this boat class needs to be related to recyclable and reuse of these boats, because that gives us two realities. First, we are extending unlimitedly the life cycle of the boat, saying when this boat is broken or the model is no longer interesting, this can be remade as a different model, as a different boat. But at the same time, we are saying there is no scrap, there is no garbage, there is no throwaways on the production of the 510s, and that is for us the most important message that we need to pass on to our end customers, is that this boat is done with technology creating as little impact as possible, and that we can extend the lifetime of the product forever. Okay. So this is the first big thing that we have done with the 510. As you know, in regards to the pricing of the 510, we had some adjustment last year. This year we're not going to do any changes, so we're keeping the boat at the same price. So the boat stays at the same price as it was in the beginning, but now it includes a paddle, so it's pretty much the same price. For the ones that don't know, the plastic paddles are not made in the same technology, so they are not made. They are made in Portugal, but they are not made with the same technology. But still, they are made. They are made in Portugal. As the 510 class is growing, and for all those you will see in the afternoon what we'll do. Ivan was already here. Some of you have been here before for these races we organize here, and I think you will be impressed with what you can do, the impact you can have on the water with 50 or 60 of these boats having races. Right now we have had races like this in Spain. We had the race in the Celia descent. We had another race in the north of Spain with everybody in 510s. We had races in France in the Traversen. We had races in Greece, and we want to keep extending this kind of model of races. So for the ones that are interested in having a 510 Cup in their country, we can discuss that later on how we can make it happen, because this is something we really want to push forward. I have been addressing the International Federation on having for us the same demands as there is in sailing, to organize the World Championships of a certain boat class, and it's not as hard, and we will not make it, probably not in the next couple of years, but I think in the 4 or 5 years we can be having the first ever 510 World Championships. We need to keep on working on spreading the boats around. Right now we have been sending boats to Samoa, to the Caribbean, to a little bit all over the world. In Australia they're doing the Avon descent on these boats, so that there are a lot of places where races are happening already in 510 classes. So we just need to get this all organized and then try to create a real class of the 510. But this was not enough, and we wanted to do some more compliments, especially things that people were asking as what could be better in the 510. And this is something I've been talking a lot with Vincent on other areas as well, is how we can combine the productivity of of the rotomolding industry that is able to do a lot of boats very fast, but at the same time add-ons in composite that bring that little bit more performance look to the equipment. So starting from that side, that boat, you guys can take it out. It's not even glued, but still you will be impressed on how much that little piece of carbon in the front can do. You can take it out like that and then take the piece out and then try again, and you will see that this will give the users a much improved experience. This will be an extra that we will sell at the same price as the wave deflector. So for you guys will be somewhere, I don't know the price, but the end customer price will be around 30 euros. So for the end customer to have something that makes their boat better is something that can be also motivating before they move on to a more elaborated boat and probably go from a 510 with that directly to a 540 or a 550. We also, as we had this partnership going on with Future Kids, we came up with the idea of that is I've seen this before, but what we are trying to do it is making it that people see it in a picture but they have no idea how to do it. So we're giving them the option on how to have a side boat that you can carry a small child with you while paddling. And for the ones that are really curious, I recommend you go out and try, because you will see it's really cool. It does not almost does not slow down the boat, and it gives a really good possibility for those that of course paddle in calmer waters and have kids, or have this as a family boat and you want to have someone else, someone smaller joining you. Okay. As we move on to this side, this is don't look at the white boat. This is probably the first 510 we ever produced.
Correct.
As you see, we keep good care of the material.
Amazing.
So this boat has been going around as a demo boat, but then when we were challenged by the International Canoe Federation into seeing, can the 510 be a platform to do outrigger V1 learning boat? So a boat that people can learn the technique for the V1. This is a little bit centric for the Para canoe program, but at the same time it can be used for anyone that's starting the sport and wants to start on the OC1. Instead of buying performance OC1, they can start on a more stable OC1. So this boat has a couple of features. So all this can be put in and put out, so you don't need a special 510. It can be made on a pre-existent 510, because as long as you have the front hatch, you can do it, and then you can put this on through the back hatch. Okay, and this is all you need, because the seat is just a platform that slides into the handles, and that's all you need.
Can you make a platform to go in there similar to the OC1? So
Yeah.
it just slots in and clips in solid, rather than the bar which might bend.
Yeah, but this is a plastic boat.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
But just
Forget about-
the back support.
forget about flex.
Yeah.
It will never go away. Okay, you cannot have a solid.
Plant for recycling, you need to pay. So, and you pay sometimes could be 20, 30, 40 euros. So what we are just trying to do is that once a year, when you have destroyed boat, just bring them back to us, or we organize a collection free, and just it's a kind of good service to the customer.
Because in most countries, people are paying to get rid of a plastic boat.
Yeah.
You cannot just dump it on the water, or you shouldn't dump it on the water. Okay? Any more? Yeah, it should be on the price list, except the seats. I think it should be somewhere there. We're gonna start here, like I said, these are what we believe pretty close to finish products, but we still want very much for you guys to go out on the water today and tomorrow, give us your feedback. In terms of how we have organized the portfolio, is pretty easy. So we made it easier, and instead of having some boats where we had M and some S and some were XL and some were XXL, and it was a bit confusing, we kind of followed the same as we have for the sprint boats, and applied the same sizing. So all the boats will end up having 3 sizes. Maybe on the 560 we'll go up to 4 sizes and have an even smaller one, but that will depend on the feedback we have on the 560 ml. Okay, so now we're going to start with the 520. So the 520 will be in 3 different sizes that are on your price list on the scale. So up to 75 kilos, 75 to 90, and over 90. Okay, so let's open this first one. Okay, so this is a 550 ml. So 520, sorry, 520 ml. This one we have put the new prototype handles for you to take a look. I will explain on this boat the main changes on the skis, and then the main changes are the same in all the models, but of course adjusting to each model. Okay, the first thing we have done is that on the smaller sizes we have made the cockpits smaller. So even on the L you're going to see the cockpit will be shorter than the older L because we have XXL. In the 520 all the boats have now the same height to the bottom. Okay, not like before where only the 520 XXL had a lower seat. In this all of them have lower seats, but, and that is a thing, also lower footwell position. Okay, so in terms of the hull, this is what we have made. The first thing you need to see is the profile. Okay, so here you have a bigger lump here. This is where your feet go, and at the same time it will be where your boat steers from. Okay, so this will be the main pivoting point. That will not be as it was before somewhere here behind you. It will be in front of you, what increases the ability to turn a lot easier because you do it from the front, like there was another fixed rudder in the front. Does it make sense? You follow me? Yeah. Okay, and then we have created, because this will create more friction, because we obviously have here a bigger wet surface. We reduce completely here the wet surface by creating this negative, not only on the rocker but also on the hull itself, that creates an acceleration of the water that finds bigger pressure here and then accelerates through here. Okay, we have of course made some tests in NASA for this. I'm kidding, but we have made the tests, and the principle behind it is exactly, we add on volume here, we took the volume here, creating a suction acceleration that works in 2 ways. First, it reduces the total wet surface and reduces the impact of the friction from this head, and at the same time it creates a negative pressure just under your seat that helps on the stability and again on the steering of the boat, because the boat is gripping a lot more from here and steering from here and not from behind you, so you have a better feeling of control. Okay, I will not repeat this to every size because the changes that we have made are, in terms of the concept of the hull, all the hulls we will see from here all the way there are exactly the same. Okay, so now talking specifically about the 520 ml, this one is replacing the 520S. Okay, the only difference In terms of the boat is of course the ones in the hull and the lower seating position, and that here there will be a rivet for you to place your wave deflector instead of gluing it with and you don't know where and blah blah blah. So there will be a small rivet here, a closed rivet where you just place your wave deflector. Everything else remains the same. The elastics, this piece is going to be a little bit nicer. It's going to be some really low profile parts, but we're not going to do recesses, so it's all going to be on top. The 520 can be not now, but there will be the option of handles in the front and in the back. Okay, that
system or
similar system. Yeah, it will not be like this. No, there will be handles to be applied, just like
soft handles.
soft handles. Yeah, soft handles. Okay.
You see, the big thing is that on an entry-level boat, everybody, as soon as you have handle, they say this is a beginner's boat. And this boat is actually not a beginner's boat, although it's our beginning. As soon as you take out the handle, this looks like a racing boat. And it makes it fun. And the bottom line is, as soon as you see a handle, oh, this is a Mickey Mouse boat. Meantime, it's not. And believe me, at 10 kilograms or 12 kilograms, you can hold it like this. I mean,
This one is actually 9.1.
Yeah. So I mean, to understand, you can put the handles.
Because that's a big improvement, because you don't know, but for example on the 520s we had a good gain of weight because we took the handles off. Not only the handles are heavy, but all the reinforcement around the handle area, because it was bent like this, and you need to put a lot of fiber because of all the angles that you were creating. And as soon as we removed it, the weight went like down like 600-700 grams easy. Okay.
Prefer lighter boats than heavy
And
boats.
also we have these handles inside here that are a lot more, and they're optional, so they're just glued after. If you want to have the, and that's what a little bit what Oscar was saying, and I have the same feeling, is that on the 520 a lot of people actually needed a 520, but they refused to have a 520 because it had a touring looking handles and handles there, and it looked like, you know, it was not racy enough. And this one like this, it looks more of a racing stable boat, but at the same time, for all looking for more equipment, then they can have these handles, they can have, or they can avoid this and say, I just want the front and back
Soft
handles. Okay, so 520 ml, same standard weights as the 520S. Okay, moving on.